And now with the latest in weather, here's Al Sweet, your Hippy Dippy Weatherman.
I was a victim of my own success, and I did some Ed Sullivans I hate. On those Ed Sullivan shows, I began to realize, not just there, everywhere, all these shows, I didn't fit.
A lot of people have written in and asked, what is a low-pressure center? This is a low-pressure center. This is a Canadian low, which is not to be confused with a Mexican high.
I was missing who I was. I began with a dream of being Danny Kaye, which is a very mainstream dream. It's very middle America. It's a people-pleaser job. And I dreamed a path that was traditional. Disc jockey, comedian, actor, big success. A mainstream dream. Meanwhile, what I really was an outlaw and a rebel, because I had lived that kind of life. I got kicked out of 3 different schools. I got kicked out of the Air Force. I got kicked out of the choir. I got kicked out of the altar boys. I got kicked out of summer camp. I got kicked out of the Boy Scouts. And I quit school at 9th grade. I had great marks. I was a smart kid, but I didn't care. They weren't teaching what I want. I didn't give a shit. It's important in life if you don't give a shit. It can help you a lot.
But there's a reason. There's a reason. There's a reason for this. There's a reason education sucks, and it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you.
I was one who swam against the tide of what is expected and what the establishment wants from us. But I didn't know that about myself, because this dream blinded me.
That's what the owners count on, the fact that Americans will probably remain willfully ignorant of the big red, white, and blue dick that's being jammed up their assholes every day. Because the owners of this country know the truth. It's called the American dream, because you have to be asleep to believe it.
This dream was about America, about the path that we all follow, the middle of the road, middle class, America, mainstream, will dream. And meanwhile, I'm sitting there like this, fuck those people. Fuck that shit.
Cursing, cussing, swearing, and all I could think of was shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits. That's all I had. Shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits. That was my original list. I knew it wasn't complete, but it was a starter set,
When it comes to bullshit, big time, major league bullshit, you have to stand in awe of the all-time champion of false promises and exaggerated claims, religion. No contest. No contest. Religion has actually convinced people that there's an invisible man living in the sky who watches everything you do every minute of every day.
And I didn't know this dissonance was inside me. And in the period this is happening, all through the 60s, the counterculture was forming. The free speech movement started in Berkeley. The hippies were growing into a force. And peace, love, power, flower power, pot smoking, anti-authority. See, bing, 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 anti-authority. So I gravitated toward that because I was that person, really. And the people I hung around with were that way. These artists are using their talent to project their feelings and ideas, not just please people.
Oh, some people don't like you to talk like that. Oh, some people would like to shut you up for saying those things. You know that. Lots of people, lots of groups in this country. want to tell you how to talk, tell you what you can't talk about. Well, sometimes they'll say, well, you can talk about something, but you can't joke about it. Say you can't joke about something because it's not funny. Comedians run into that shit all the time. Like rape. They'll say, you can't joke about rape. Rape's not funny. I say, fuck you. I think it's hilarious. How do you like that? I can prove to you that rape is funny. Picture Porky Pig raping Elmer Fudd.
That's all, folks.
And that is what has kept me in front of a mass audience without censorship. I don't mean just fuck, shit, and piss. I mean ideas that would be unwelcome on commercial enterprise television.
And I know what you're thinking. You say, Jesus, he's not going to attack children, is he? Yes, he is. He's going to attack children. And remember, this is Mr. Conductor talking. I know what I'm talking about.
As Mr. Conductor's double, I think it's time to start some trouble. Everyone thinks he's nice and kind, but I'll be mean and change their mind. Then he'll leave and I can stay, and nobody here can get in my way.
Who would have thought the picture would come to life?
Boy, it sure made a mess of things, didn't it?
Kids in this country. There's too much attention to children in this country. Every time you turn around, it's kids. And they're hiding behind kids because all they're trying to do is censor you again and take your drugs away in the name of their kids. In the name of the kids. They're trying to roll back the 60s, man.
And then they fill you full of Ritalin and drag you all over town in search of meaningless structure. Little League, Cub Scouts, swimming, soccer, karate, piano, bagpipes, watercolors, witchcraft, glass blowing, and dildo practice. They even have play dates, for Christ's sakes. Playing is now done by appointment. Whatever happened to you show me your wee-wee and I'll show you mine?
I love the jokes, but the jokes are there to decorate the ideas. The ideas are about what I don't like in this country, what it is I'm sort of kind of disenchanted by in my fellow man, my fellow human, and my fellow American.
You know it's true. Parents are burning these kids out on structure. I think every day all children should have 3 hours of daydreaming. Just daydreaming. You could use a little of it yourself, by the way. Just sit at the window, stare at the clouds. It's good for you. If you want to know how you can help your children, leave them the fuck alone. Thank you all very much. Now, what am I talking about? Okay. All right, now a little change of pace.
I began to take some acid and some mescaline. I didn't overdo it. I had a couple of trips that weren't the best, but I had a lot of great trips. And that is a values-changing drug. Hallucinogens are a value changer. So is marijuana. Like it or not, it changes your values. It opens up windows, doors of perception, Aldous Huxley called them. And you see things differently. And I suddenly was able to see my place and to realize I was in the wrong place. You see, in 1967, the summer of love, the peak of the hippie movement, I was 30. I was entertaining people in nightclubs who were 40. And they were at war with their kids who were 20. There was a generation war. I was in the middle of it. I was 30, 20, 40. And I said, what the fuck am I doing over here? These are the people that will at least understand me and give me a chance. I had denied that part of myself, and finally it came into full flower, and I never became a really big success until that.